Hey queens, it is me, the Royal Diva, and we're back for another video today. Today's video is going to be ranking every Dead by Daylight killer. Let's go. Now, today's ranking is going to be based on just a couple criteria. Number 1, how I feel playing against said killer. Number 2, the perks that said killer comes with, if I can remember them. Number 3, if I've played the killer, how much fun did I have playing them, and do I think that they're a hard killer or an easy killer? That is my top 3 criteria for today. And remember, these are all opinions and how I feel, so do not get pressed if I rank one of your favorite killers really low or someone that you hate really high. It is just my opinion. And with that, let's get started. So, first killer that pretty much everybody has probably played at this point, and if you have not played him, I'm a little bit shocked. We have our classic Trapper. As we all know, cutesy little guy. He's fun. He's kind of fresh. We love him. He's not around all the time, but he is low-key there. And when he shows up, you kind of have a good time. The one thing that I hate, though, is stepping in his traps on dark maps or people who abuse the traps. Regardless, his perks are very simple, very easy, but, you know, things like Brutal Strength and all those things, I think they're kind of cute. I think they're kind of a slay. And because Trapper is so classic, and I've liked playing him before, I just can never time my traps correctly, I'm going to give Trapper A. We have Wraith. I personally love playing Wraith. I love that I can cloak and uncloak. I like that I can sneak up on survivors, because who doesn't love to do that? I love his perks and all those things. To go against Wraith is a very hit and miss situation for me. It's either going to be good and I can stay fine and stay skinny, or I flop. And that's mainly in part because of that silent bell. Ugh! If you guys have seen me on stream, you know that I have very strong opinions about his silent bell add-on. Regardless, Wraith is also a base killer. He's very cutesy, very mindful, very demure, and which I think that Wraith also deserves the A tier. Next, we get to Hillbilly, and this is where I have opinions. I have never played Hillbilly because I could never in my life zip around the entire map like a dog with zoomies and find any way to hit or down a survivor. It's just not going to happen. Hillbilly does come with some kind of cute perks, I will admit, but I don't like playing against him. I don't like playing against him. He's annoying. It's either going to be a good game where the killer misses every singular chainsaw shot that they try to do, or I'm sniped out of the game. With that, I'm going to give Hillbilly the C tier. Next is Nurse. And I'm sure that a lot of us are going to have opinions on Nurse, and as do I. I like Nurse. I think she's cool. She has a very cool power. I think if you master her, she's wicked to play. The gameplay that I've seen of some of the people who have played Nurse is out of this world. And to be honest, I think she's just a really awesome killer all around. I like to play against her. Sometimes it's fun to watch people who are new trying to play her, or watch pros wipe the floor with me. It just depends. Nurse does come with some good perks. I know one of them mainly is Nurse's Calling, and we all love Nurse's Calling, I'm sure. Not widely used, but definitely has been used at least once or twice in everybody's killer build. I think that Nurse, she's skinny, she's kind of diva, she has some good skins as well. I'm going to give Nurse B. Oh, and next we have Myers. Where do I begin? If you have seen me at any point on stream or in any video I have posted, there's at least several times that I have screamed my ever-living lungs off in absolute fear of Michael. Sometimes Michaels are fun, and sometimes they're funny, they're kind. We have like a kind killer who just wants to be a funny Michael, or there's the ones who stalk through the walls and clap your cheeks. I have a special place in my heart for Michael. I think that he's so skinny and so amazing, but he was before the rework. I think that his power rework now is not something that I enjoy. I have tried playing it before. I used to play Michael up until the rework where he became weird. I'm too used to the old style of his mechanic and his power to even remotely try to learn the new one. And it also makes him a little bit worse to go against in a game. But regardless of all the new things that they did to him to change him, special place in my heart for Michael. With that, Michael gets the A tier. Then we have the Hag. She's very simple. She has her little thingy she does. She has some cute little perks. She has some kind of cool skins. But other than that, she's kind of bland, kind of boring, kind of just there. You really see her like once in a blue moon. I'm not gonna lie to you, I have mainly encountered Hag 5 times so far this year. And every time you see him, we're like, oh hey, she exists. And then you forget her. And with that, I rank Hag C tier. Then we get to the Doctor. I don't like Doctor. I like playing him. I hate playing against him, which is a common thing that you'll see. He has some kind of good perks. His power can be very good with add-ons if you're playing him. If you're playing against him, he's very annoying. You're always like getting shocked, you're screaming, you're trying to snap out of it, all these things. I do believe that his power is strong, but it halts a lot of the game and it just makes it annoying and it's not tolerable. And I hate it. He does have cool skins though. That's a point. So I will give Doctor a D for Doctor. Dr. Dick is Huntress. And I have a special place in my heart for Huntress because I used to main her. I used to be so good at her. I tried so hard to learn Huntress. And you know what? I was good. I kind of got clocked for a little while until I lost my skill on her. And I kind of like, I longed to play her again, but I could never be as good as I was. I love her skins. They're so pretty. And I can admit she's a very much like a diva type killer. She gives very power energy and I love it. And you know what? That's all I gotta say about her. She's skinny. She's diva. I give Huntress S tier killer. I have Bubba. Or if you know him from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies or games, here he is. He's very much like Hillbilly for me. Same kind of concept with the chainsaw, except he's not sprinting across the map at you. He's more so just kind of walking forward awkwardly until he wipes out your entire team and the game's over in 1 minute. I do think he's cute. There are many kind Bubbas out there who are so fun to play with, but when you find a very skilled Bubba, you're basically done. Good perks, not many skins. He was kind of just added, and I think he's been kind of forgotten, unfortunately. And with Bubba, I think he deserves a little bit more attention than he gets, but not that much. So with that, I'm going to give Bubba B tier. Next up is Freddy. Now, when he was first added, there wasn't much to him. He used to be kind of like a base killer, kind of alongside Bubba in terms of his power and the mechanics. Then came the rework, and he got so much better. I have never really played Freddy, but to play against him is kind of fun. He gives a very interesting chase experience. I think he has a kind of a bop chase music, and all of these things. Not too many skins or anything around him cosmetically, but you know what? He's always been there, he's cute, and when he shows up, you kind of either hate yourself or you're very excited to play against him. And with Freddy, I'm going to give him A tier. And with Freddy, I'm going to give him the B tier. You can see I have a little bit of some bias to killers. And next up is Pig. I watched the Saw movie for the first time, starting back in, I think, late 2024 or early 2025, and I played the absolute crap out of Pig because I figured out that she wasn't Dead by Daylight, and I had to learn her. I think that her power is so cute. We all know to boop the snoot. She has some cute little cosmetics, and you really always have a fun time with her. The only complaint I have is the freaking helmets. I can't tell you how many times I've died because of those things. Please make it easier to get them off your head. I'm just kidding. But anyway, I love Pig. I think she's a fun time to go against. You often see her more kind than not. And I think everyone just loves Pig as a whole. Very wholesome, very nice experience. And with Pig, I'm going to give her the S tier. Next is the Clown. And I really hate the Clown. Used to, he was not that bad to go against. He was kind of that funny little fat man that you saw running around the map until his rework, where he got a absolutely out of this world speed boost, and he's almost impossible to win against. Every clown, I feel, it's a terrible experience when you hear that little you know he's coming, and you know that your match is absolutely cooked. We do not like Clown here. I have never played him, and I hate playing against him, and I always have a horrible time to play against Clown. I'll say Clown does have some cute little skins, like the little elephant onesie he wears, and all of those things, but otherwise I absolutely hate him and I cannot stand him as a killer. Regardless of my pure hatred, slightly, we're going to give Clown the D tier. Next is Spirit, and I quite like Spirit. She's a very fun killer. I think she has a really interesting system of her power. With phasing, everybody knows that you must have, like, astronomical hearing to play the game. And there are many people that actually have mastered Spirit in such a way that they don't have to use scratch marks or any perks. They just use their ears. I think that people like that who play Spirit are so cool, and I think that it makes her super fun. I will say I have played Spirit to a little bit. I will say I have played Spirit a little bit, but I have never been able to fully master her, but she was never bad to play as. I think it's super cool to sneak up on survivors and try and learn your way around them and kind of predict how they play. I think she also has some very nice skins and some really good perks. And I think overall, she's a diva little killer. You can pretty much always get some good matches with her, unless there's one or two really good spirits that just totally take you out of the game. With Spirit, I think she deserves the A tier. Next is Legion. He is one of my bottom 5 killers. Maybe bottom 10. Legion is absolutely horrible. I feel like I'm playing Mending Simulator or like I'm in a hospital room because I can never stop having to mend and not play the game. I feel that Legions nowadays are beginning to like almost literally abuse their power to make you always mend. And granted, I understand that it's part of the game. But I can never, ever, ever figure out how to counter Legion because I'm always getting clocked out of the game. Cool skins and cool variations of Legion. I have tried to play Legion before. It's kind of fun, but I could never do it. It's not for me. Legion is just not for me. And even though I have a very strong hatred towards Legion, I do want to give him just a little bit of credit, or her, because there are 2 variants. I do want to give Legion some credit for kind of being a fun little killer and for having really good chase music, but otherwise, there's nothing to Legion. With that, I'm going to give Legion the E tier. Next is the Plague. And if you have emetophobia, I'm warning you now, you're going to hate what I'm going to say. We have Vommy Mommy. Her power literally is throwing up. That's it. She throws up at you. The thing with Plague is she is trying to ruin you by throwing up on you, making you sick, making you hindered, all those things, throwing up on pallets and generators and all these things to make you get sick and have to cleanse yourself in the fountains. But the fountains are her power. There are many people that don't understand that when you cleanse in those fountains, it gives her power, the red vomit, in which can down you literally instantly. Plague is powerful, and I kind of like playing Plague. She's kind of fun, it's kind of skinny, and it's fun to throw up on survivors in a really funny way. But she's kind of gross. I think she also has some kind of funky chase music, but overall, other than being a killer who throws up on you, she's kind of boring. Not too much to the character. And I think, wholeheartedly, that Miss Plague deserves the C tier. Next is Ghostface, and I love a good Ghostface. Kind of. Ghostfaces are the cutest, well, I shouldn't say the cutest, one of the cutest killers in the game. Very fun to go against, always a funny time, almost more than minors. Don't hate me. The cute little ghost faces who can make your game fun. I love the ones who can stalk you and scare the absolute duty sauce out of you mid-game. I think that Ghostface is a well-loved killer overall, and not too much to say about him. I give Ghostface the A tier. Next is Demogorgon. And Demogorgon is really bland. He's always called the uncircumcised penis, but we don't speak of that. Demogorgon is very simple, and you kind of only see him once in a blue moon, similar to Hag. When you play against Demogorgon, it's either a fun time or it's a absolutely horrible time. And that's all the comments that I have. Demogorgon's boring. I feel like he was placed in the game and then forgotten, and nobody really knows that he exists anymore. And with that, I give Demogorgon the D tier. Up is Oni. And I quite like Oni. I think he has a very good concept of a power to take your little blood things in and use his power to like chase you around the map and slam his little thing on you. I think it's cool. And many of us also know the My Little Oni game mode added a April Fool's update, I believe 1 or 2 years ago now. Some kind of okay perks and not too many skins. Kind of also a base killer, but I think he's really fun. I have never played Oni personally, but I think playing against him is kind of a good time because it's kind of fun to really counter the Oni or really get wiped by the Oni. I think Oni deserves more credit than he gets, and with the bottom of my heart, I give Oni the B tier. Next up is Deathslinger. Deathslinger is an interesting killer. I have played Deathslinger before, and if you have played any first-person shooting game, like, or even like something like Fortnite, you have probably been somewhat well on Deathslinger. Very simple concept, shoot you with his spear, reel you in, hit you, you're done. But otherwise, that's literally it. That's all he does. But it's nice to see how Deathslingers evolve, much like Spirit players. They have immaculate shots sometimes, and I think they're super fun. Also, some really cool skins for Deathslinger and some good perks as well. I think Deathslinger is a little bit overhated, and I kind of love him. And with that, I give Deathslinger the B tier. PP Head. I love PP Head. I have never really tried to play Pyramid Head, and the few times that I have been absolutely terrible. I think he's a very hard killer to learn. But to play against him is super fun. I think it's super fun to watch people get little sniper shots on you. It's super fun to watch people try and learn Pyramid Head. He's hot. It has some kind of skinny little chase music. I've always liked Pyramid Head, and he serves as a very classic killer to me, and I have a little special place in my heart for Pyramid Head. And with that, I give Pyramid Head the A tier. Next is Blight. And I really don't like Blight. Blight, I have never played. Never once have I touched Blight or even tried to play. For very good reason. I hate his power. To bounce off of things back and forth like a pinball machine, I could never ever do. And to try and counter that is horrific. There are good times where you can actually avoid Blight, but it's very rare that ever happens. I will say I like his perks, and I kind of like the style that they tried to make him. He also has some cool little skins as well that I like, and I overall think it's kind of a little fun experience to go against Blight because you never really expect to go against him. He's kind of in the background, pops up for a minute, and then he's gone again. Type of in that sense. And I think Blight is kind of cutesy, but not really up there. I think Blight is just kind of in the middle. So with that, I give Blight the C tier. Next is the twins, and I have the biggest spot in my heart for the twins. One of the very first Dead by Daylight streamers that I watched was a twins main, and the playstyle of the twins looked so cool, I just had to play. This was at the time that the cosmetic with the flower stuff came out, and I bought it immediately. I played twins. I was obsessed. The twins is such a fun concept. I love that you can lurch on people with a baby. You can kick the baby. I love that. I love Charlotte's power. I love Victor's power. I love the add-ons. They make it so much more fun. I love the cosmetics. I love the perks. And the twins has always been one of my D1 mains and will probably forever will be. I love the twins. I'm working on trying to P100 them right now because I think that the twins deserve it. And with that, I give the twins the S tier. Next is Trickster. He's so hot! Trickster is a very interesting killer. I have played Trickster before. I think he's super fun to play against. Or to play as. I like that you can throw the blades. I like you still have your M1 little bat sword thingy. I absolutely adore his cosmetics and his perks. I think he's a very strong killer, but can be very annoying to play against. I always kind of enjoy a Trickster from the bottom of my heart. On the surface, as a main survivor, Trickster is not that fun. I think that he's super cool, and there are many things that they could do with Trickster, but on the base level, there's not much. But overall, I think he's hot, I think he's a slay, and definitely a twink at heart. So I put Trickster at A tier. Next is Nemesis. And we have always known Nemesis. One of the also base killers that many of us have played against. His little tentacles, if you're into that, it can be very exciting. His power can be amazing, or it can absolutely wipe the floor with you. Can't say for sure, it is very fun to go against Nemesis because it's always so interesting to try and counter him and not get hit by him. The one thing that I will forever hate about Nemesis is the zombies. I think that they have somehow gotten worse, especially in 2v8. The amount of zombies that I die against, probably at least once per month, is a little bit out of this world, and I think that his zombies are an absolutely horrible addition to his power. Otherwise, I think it's kind of a slay. He's a cute little killer at heart, always a little bit fun to play against, but kind of just basic. So with that, I give Nemesis the B tier. Next up is Pinhead, and I'm going to go ahead and rate him before I even start because I have such strong opinions. There's no questioning my opinion. I despise a Pinhead. I absolutely cannot stand his power, and I cannot stand him. Annoying killer, annoying chase music, annoying everything. I despise a Pinhead. The only thing that I like is you summon me, I came because I also came. Who said that? Anyway. I despise a Pinhead. I will forever despise a Pinhead, and that is why he is E tier. Calming down ever so slightly, we have Artist. I think the Artist is a absolutely diva killer. Very nice perks, very nice power. I think that she's always super cool to go against. I love her design, I love her cosmetics, and all of those things. I had never played Artist, but to play against her is super fun. I like that you can try and dodge her birds. I hate the bird sound. Caw. But I think that overall, Artist is kind of cute. We love her. At the end of the day, I think that we all enjoy playing against her. And if you don't, I'm very sorry. And with that, in a very base opinion, I give Artist the C tier. Next is Onryo. And Onryo is one of two things. Onryo can either be super fun to go against or absolutely horrifying. There are many things that you have to learn going against Onryo, mainly with the TV, because you have to be very strategic in how you use that tape to save yourself. I think that her Mori is also very cool, and I haven't seen too many cosmetics for her either, and I don't know her perks too well. I think overall, though, many of us know Onryo at heart and kind of enjoy her, but are also absolutely horrified by her. So with that, I give Onryo the D tier. Next is the Dredge. And I have opinions on Dredge. Such opinions that I will also give Dredge the D tier. When Dredge first came out, I thought that he was fun. I thought that if you could pop out of lockers and get scared, that's shocking that you can lock the lockers to try and prevent him. I hated the night power and all of those things. But at the end of the day, I think that Dredge was kind of cool in the beginning, but has slowly become absolutely annoying in the end. I never ever see Dredge players anymore, and when you do, it's pretty much like once every year at this point. And when you do, it's never a fun experience. You're always either you can't see, you're getting snatched by a locker because he's coming out of it, or it's just, it's never a good experience. And there are many people who might enjoy the Dredge, but I just do not. And which is why he, very deservedly so, has gotten the D tier. Next is Wesker. And Wesker is so hot, it's not even funny. Excuse me. I like Wesker. I have never played him either. Many of these people I haven't played. But Wesker to play against is super fun. I think it's super fun to try and escape him and dodge his little dodges that he comes at you with. I think that his concept is very cool. I'm glad they added him in from Resident Evil and all of those things. I think that he's also more of a base killer, but you always kind of love to see him. He's kind of skinny to play against. And also, he's hot. Yes, I said it again. He just is hot, okay? And with that, that is why I give Wesker the A tier. We are down to just a final row of killers here. Finally. Up is something that I didn't think I would do. I'm going to do 3 killers in one run because I have such strong opinions on them. I don't even have to go through them one at a time. The Knight, Skull Merchant, Singularity. I despise of them all. I absolutely hate their powers. I hate them as killers. They are horrible. I can never stand to play against them, and there's not one thing that you can say to ever make me like them. The only thing that I can give is that Skull Merchant has had some cool skins over the time that they've been in the game, and thank God had a huge nerf. Other than that, I literally hate their guts. So with that, all 3 of them trashed in the E tier. With a little bit better opinions and some more modern killers, we are up to Xenomorph. I think Xenomorph is kind of cute. The little puppy who runs around, flicks you with his little tail. I don't even know what he is. He's just there. I think that he's kind of cute to play against. It might be just a little bit annoying at times, But you know what? At the end of the day, I think everyone kind of enjoys going against Xenomorph. Not too many skins and not too many really perks either. He's just kind of there. I think the Xenomorph deserves a little bit more appreciation for being who he is and being kind of an OP killer at times. That's why I give Xenomorph the B tier. Next is Chucky, and I have had many run-ins with Chucky. I used to kind of play Chucky for a little while, and I thought that he was actually so fun. I love his cosmetics. I love that they have Good Guy, and they have his wife, and all those things in the game. To go against a Chucky can be one of two things. It can be super fun, and it can be really funny and cute, or it can be the worst experience you've ever had in your life. I think that they had a really good concept with Chucky and they executed it well. He has very good perks as well. And I think that Chucky is just a little bit underappreciated, even though I sometimes very heavily dislike him. And really, I'm going to do something against my better judgment. I think that Chucky is an S tier killer. Is the Unknown, and many people don't like Unknown. When he was released, he was a brand new thing for the game that none of us have ever seen before. He was labeled as one of the scariest killers to ever come to the game based on his Mori. He also has some very funny skins, and he's super goofy. I think that he was executed as a kind of like scary killer in a funny, lighthearted way, and I love him. He's really fun to play as and play against, as I almost main him now. And I think that he's underappreciated in the Dead by Daylight community. And that is why I give Unknown the A tier. Down to the final 8. And this is where my opinions get a little bit stronger. Next, we have Vecna. It's a no from me, babes. Such a no that I give Vecna the E tier. Vecna, I could never grasp the concept of their power. I never played as them, I played against them many times, and I could never understand why they were ever in the game. Their power is odd, the add-ons are odd, and the only thing that I like is that they can zoom past you and you can see their coochie. That is the most fun thing about them. Otherwise, I think they're very bland and they kind of serve nothing in the game, and you really hardly ever see them. So with that, I give Vecna the E tier. Next up is Dracula, and I quite like Dracula. Such a cool concept of a power, so many cool skins and cool perks as well. I liked Dracula when he first came out, and it was actually the very first PTB that I downloaded and streamed on my channel. I like Dracula, I like the little wolf, I like the bats, I love his power, he's super cool. I love Dracula, and there's not much else to say. And I wholeheartedly think that Dracula deserves an S tier killer. Next is Houndmaster, and Houndmaster was kind of a very exciting thing for Dead by Daylight, but then died rather quickly. Houndmaster has her dog, and that's just about it. A couple little cosmetics and renditions of herself, some little perks, but otherwise there's not much to her. I think that when Houndmaster first came out, none of us expected her to be as bland as she was, and many of us now are just more annoyed by her presence than we are excited. That is why I give Houndmaster the C tier. Final 5. Kaneki or Ghoul. E. I absolutely despise of his power and him as a killer. Horrible to go against and never has been enjoyable. Some cool skins, really fun chase music, and nothing else. I cannot say more. Next is Springtrap, and while I'm at it, I'm going to go ahead and rank Springtrap as an S tier killer. And you might say that's a very bold statement, and I also think it's a bold statement. I love Springtrap. He brought so much to Dead by Daylight, it's not even funny. Player count was soared. The amount of sales that happened soared. It was such a good addition to the game. Fun killer to go against. I think the concept of the security doors was fun. The axe was a little bit of a blindside, but fun. Very cool perks and very cool skins, and I think that's why he deserves the S tier. Final 3, I'm going to go ahead and rank them individually and then explain. We have Karasu, which I think deserves the B tier. We have the First, which I think deserves the A tier, and Jason at the S tier. With Karasu, I think she was a super fun addition to the game. I think that we all kind of enjoyed to go against her. I think that she's a diva kind of killer in the game. Also a blindside with a kind of scarier killer, much like the Unknown, where she can literally detach herself from her own body. Anyway, cool power, cool skins, not too fed up on her perks, and I don't really know much about them, but all I know is she's kind of fun, she's kind of there, and that's why she deserves the B tier. With the first, I love him. I love the out of the Henry skin. I love his power. It's super fun. I think that he had a very nice concept and he's very OP. I loved him since he came out. I have the Henry skin. I have him as a whole. He's already prestige like 4 or 5 now for me. I love him, and that's why I think he deserves the A tier. And last, and certainly not least, is Jason. Jason is the most recent addition to Dead by Daylight, and I think that he is a super cool killer. Admittedly, at face value, I love his power. Super cool, fun little chase music, and some kind of cool perks, and I'm so excited to see what they do with him. The only thing is, playing against him as a survivor can be almost a very torturous experience and not that fun. Admittedly, I think that Jason would really deserve more of the B tier as a killer, but just because of being so new and all of these things, I'm going to give him the S tier and let him work his way either to stay there or go down. While this is a rather more bland video, I hope it's entertaining. I'm going to go ahead and read off every killer from every tier to give you our final synopsis. In the S tier, we have Huntress, Pig, Twins, Chucky, Dracula, Springtrap, and Jason. A tier is Trapper, Wraith, Michael, Spirit, Ghostface, Pyramid Head, Trickster, Wesker, Unknown, and the First. Our largest tier, actually. B tier is Nurse, Bubba, Freddy, Oni, Desslinger, anyway, Nemesis, Xenomorph, and Karasu. C is Hillbilly, Hag, Plague, Blight, Artist, Hellmaster. D tier is Doctor, Clown, Demogorgon, Onryo, and Dredge. And the least tier of them all is the E tier with Legion, Pinhead, Knight, Skull Merchant, Singularity, Vecna, and Kaneki or the Ghoul. And I want to thank you guys for a wonderful video. I hope it was entertaining. I hope you enjoy my ranking. I know it is certainly probably what you would have not expected, and there are some blind sides in here even for me. But I'm really happy where I have these killers. I think they're so slay. If you want more, subscribe down in the button below and follow all my socials in my link tree in my bio or any of my other socials as well. If you also want to see me when I actually stream, you can follow me on either Twitch or TikTok at The Royal Diva on most platforms. And if you want any more videos, comment down below and give me your ideas or let me know how this video was for you. I thank you guys for being so slay. I love you, queens. This is your second video for this week. I hope you watched the first one. If you didn't, go watch it. I love y'all. Thank you, and see you next week. Bye, queens.